I've had 5 postpartum experiences, and each one has been a bit different. After having a particularly difficult postpartum with my second born, I've learned how to feel great postpartum, what things to do and what things not to do to have a happier postpartum. So, these are going to be my 4 tips that I would give any mama who is about to have a baby. The first one would be realistic expectations. This one I think is really huge. Birth is such a huge life event that we often don't give much credit to. And I've learned over the years that it's actually the biggest hormone shift in such a short period of time, bigger than when we get our period, when we go through menopause or perimenopause. This postpartum time is the biggest hormone shift that we will ever experience in our lives, which means that our body, our mind, our emotions, everything is experiencing a whole lot. There's just a lot going on. I think one of the best things that you can do is just prepare as much as you can, whether that's preparing food in the freezer or preparing your home by implementing new systems like my laundry system that I shared in another video, preparing your children by talking about baby, setting their expectations for what things will look like postpartum for them and for you, what they can expect from you and what they can expect from their father, training them to help out so that when baby is here, everything is not on you. And this is difficult when you're in the first, second, third child stage, because if you're having them close together, then they're still pretty young and can be not as helpful. But I will say, my mom always says, my brother and I are 13 months apart. And she always says that it was so simple and easy because I was helping out so much. So I was only a year old, but I would help grab diapers, grab wipes, so many things that even a 1-year-old, if they are on their feet and moving around, they can help out. They can take dishes to the sink. They can take their laundry to their room. So many things. I would highly suggest helping your children to be a help around the house so that it just makes things easier. So our boys are in charge of clearing the table, doing the dishes, doing the laundry. Like I said, I share about that in my laundry system video. Another thing that would maybe go along with kind of realistic expectations is we try to save as much finances as we can so that postpartum Chris can take off as much time as possible and even work half-time once he does need to start working again, so that he's just available to help. So for the first couple of months, he's actually making breakfast for everyone. And this is actually something you can train your kiddos to do too, help make breakfast. Our oldest, it does that also. But saving finances so that your spouse can be around and be helpful is so great. If that is not a reality, asking for help from family or friends or hiring someone to help out. All of those, like pretty much as much help as you can get, I suggest doing. And I did not do this with my first couple. I just thought that I needed to do everything on my own and figure it out. And that is not realistic. That is not what is expected of mothers in any other part of the world. Birth is almost considered like a non-event, which, like I said, it is a very big deal with one, birthing a child, healing your body after birthing a child, and then all of the hormone changes that are going on as well. So my second tip would be to rest your body. Your body just needs time to recover. When your placenta comes out after baby is born, there is a nice big wound where the placenta was attached. And so you need to give yourself time to just rest and recover. Your body just has gone through a lot. So I like to try to stay in bed for a week which can be very difficult for me because I do have very easy and straightforward deliveries. But I have noticed that it makes a huge difference just emotionally. Uh, just nursing all the time, doing lots of skin to skin with baby. There's nothing like giving your body the rest that it needs. And then what is often suggested is 1 week by the bed. So that's just kind of puttering around the house, sitting, getting back into bed whenever you're getting tired, or you just need a rest, or baby's resting and you want to take a nap with baby. Then 1 week around the house. So that's typically you go outside, sit outside in the sun for a little bit, come back inside. Our family loves roasting marshmallows, so we'll go out, build a fire, roast the marshmallows. Just being outside, getting some fresh air and some sunlight is so great for your body, no matter whether you're postpartum or not, but just allowing yourself that time to rest. And like I said, I don't feel like we give birth as much attention as we should. And so this is just a simple way to give this big life-changing experience a little bit more attention is by resting. With our second, I was up and about 2 days after giving birth. We were going out and doing stuff. And I think that was probably a big part of why I struggled later on. I didn't start having a difficult time until like 9 months postpartum, but it was very difficult. And I think a big part of it was that I just pretended like nothing happened and we were just going to get back to normal life, doing our normal things. And that was not good for my body whatsoever. So my third tip would be nourishing your body. After our fourth, no matter how much sleep I was getting, I just felt tired all the time. I would nap with him. I would get good sleep at night because he was sleeping good. And I just felt tired all the time. I was actually advised to take a hair tissue mineral analysis, which I will actually link the one that I use below. It's a really great one. You just send in your hair to this, you purchase it, they send you the whole kit, tells you everything you need to do. You cut some hair, send it off to this lab, they get it tested, and then they email you the lab results, and then you have a phone consultation with, I don't know if it's like a doctor, what their title is, but they're very well versed in this analysis. My gal had a whole list of things that she shared with me of supplements and things that I needed. So it was really interesting to see kind of what was going on in my body. I found out that I had extreme adrenal fatigue, which most mothers do and don't realize it. And so I was advised to start having like 2 to 3 adrenal cocktails a day. I was also low on some key minerals. It was really interesting to go into my 5th pregnancy after having this and realizing the importance of minerals and this adrenal cocktail and how much better I felt both in the first trimester, like having less nausea, but then also this postpartum season 2 has felt so good. I've had really great energy, stable emotions, and have just had a really, really seamless postpartum. And I think a lot of it has to do with I am nourishing my body with what it needs. So I cannot recommend this hair tissue mineral analysis enough. I have suggested it to so many friends, and it is just, honestly, I would say it's life-changing. So, and all the supplements that they suggest are really great, high-quality supplements. So, can't say enough about that test. There's also a really great book that I like to suggest for new mothers that I'll link below. It's called The First 40 Days, and it talks about how to nourish your body, how to feed your body well. I didn't realize this, but your digestion slows down so much postpartum, and so eating foods that are easy to digest, like soups and broths, are just so nourishing for your body and just help you to heal. Now, this last tip is one that I believe every mother could use, and that's putting your phone away. It can be so tempting to scroll all day long when you're in bed or on the couch with a newborn that you're nursing nonstop, but it's honestly doing nothing for your mental well-being. If you have other children, I think about this all the time. What do I want what do I want any of my children to see me doing throughout the day? Do I want them to see me on my phone nonstop, needing to have my phone with me all the time, needing to just be looking at all the things? Or do I want them to see me being present, sitting and reading a book, reading them a book, just sitting in silence and being okay with there not being something going on all the time? I think this is probably a big reason why postpartum depression is so rampant, as well as just depression and anxiety in general, is that we are not giving our brains just space to process and to synthesize all the information that has already come in, or all the experiences that we've experienced. We're not allowing ourselves to process this, and we're just bringing in more and more information, and that can be quite overwhelming, whether we realize it in the moment or not. So I think that silence and just nothingness is good and so healthy for our mind and our body. And I would say if you really just need something to do while you're sitting all day, what I like to do is just read a book or listen to a book. If maybe it's not as easy to hold a book and read while you're nursing or whatnot, listening to a book on Audible is really great too. It's just such a great time to use to better educate yourself on something that you're curious about, or maybe an area in your life or your home where you could use a fresh perspective or a new direction in things. Reading books or listening to books about homeschooling, whatever is maybe top of mind at the moment that could use a little bit more attention, rather than just diverting your attention to scrolling. Use your attention intentionally to better your life, better your home, better your family, all the things. I am a huge fan of books. So I would say if you followed these 4 tips, I feel pretty confident that you'll feel great and have a happier postpartum. Like I said, I think that the hair tissue mineral analysis, coupled with putting your phone away, if I had to pick just 2, those would be the 2, because the hair test is going to really show you what your body specifically needs. And then the putting the phone away is going to give your brain just time to process, think, hear from the Lord, talk to the Lord, be present and intentional with your children, and just really soak up those sweet moments of the postpartum season. It goes by way too fast, and it's hard to realize that in the moment, but we are now past what I would call the 4th trimester, and I don't understand how we are here already, but we are, and I think it probably goes quicker with every kiddo that we have. But I hope that these are helpful for you, and I'd love to hear below how your experience has been postpartum thus far, and if you feel like any of these would be helpful for you. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this video helpful and think that a friend might enjoy it as well, feel free to share it with them. May your home be filled with love and laughter, health and wellness, and may all who enter find peace and rest.